Filet Mignon topped with crab meat today on the Cajun Cooks. Today, the Cajun Cooks Filet Mignon topped with crab meat. That may not sound Cajun, but this is an elegant dish. It will have a Cajun twist to it, and I will acknowledge that I was influenced by 3 culinary experts in coming up with this dish today. I've cooked this before. It is always an elegant evening, and you always have to present that Louisiana Cajun twist to this meal. So, my influences for today: Ella Brennan, John False, Julia Child. I've done a lot of reading over the past few years. Follow me to the kitchen and I'll show you the finished product. All right, welcome to the kitchen and let's start cooking. So today we're going to do filet mignon topped with crab meat, and I mentioned my 3 influences. So here are the ingredients. Imagine these 3 culinary experts walking into my kitchen. What would they do with them? That's my creation, and I've cooked this several times over the past few years and I've always gotten excellent results. So, of course, filet mignon that I've already seasoned very generously with salt, sea salt and cracked pepper. I'm going to serve that atop a toasted bread round. And then my other ingredients will include mushrooms. They will include chopped shallot, of course, crab meat, parsley. I do have some beef stock if I need it, but if the cameraman pans over here, I have a demi-glace I've already made. I took this out of the freezer and warmed it up. If you have this already made in the freezer, you can just dump in. It looks like jelly. That's fine. But I warmed this up so you can see what it looks like. And then, of course, the Cajun twist, my own spice mix. So here's what I'm going to do. This is going to be short. So I'm going to go ahead and cook my steak. I'm going to sear it on the stove. I'm going to put it in the oven. I have my oven set at 400 degrees. I'm going to take my steak out at about 125 degrees. It's going to be medium rare. That's the longest part of this dish. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to start searing, throw it in the oven. When it's done, it's going to rest for a few minutes, and then we'll get to the crab meat topping. And that's where we need to pay attention. So let's check back after I get my steak cooked. I'm going to start searing. Here. Welcome back. My steak is done, and I took it out at medium rare, which is around 125. And now things are really going to get cooking. So first I'm going to saute my mushrooms and shallots. And I'm using the same pan that I used to cook my steak. I'm just going to liven up my cooking oils and a little bit of butter. And I'm going to saute the mushrooms, I'm going to saute the shallots, throw in some butter, and then things will get fiery in about 2 minutes. So join me then. All right, so now I said things are going to really start firing up. I'm going to throw in a little bit of Madeira. And this is going to get pretty fiery now. Look at that. Cajuns bring the heat. There we go. Don't be afraid, cameraman. Alright, y'all have to admit, that was pretty impressive. I said the word y'all. Y'all. Alright, so now we flame that up. I'm going to let this reduce. That's going to cook down to nothing, except maybe a syrupy consistency. It's gotten quite syrupy after our Jimi Hendrix fire out of guitar moment. We're not at Woodstock, are we? Now I'm going to add in my demi-glace. Yeah, I'm going to say about a cup or so of that. And I'm hearing all of my culinary experts whispering in my ear here. All right, and this is a little thick. I'm going to thin this out with a little bit of beef stock. That is pretty impressive. And I'm just going to liven this up a bit with a little bit of cracked pepper, pinch of salt. We're ready for some Cajun heat. Pinch. There we go. We call that Cajun. At least I do. Alright, this is all this needs. So I'm going to move this back to my simmer burner and keep it on low. And the cameraman's going to join me when I'm ready to heat up my crab meat. Welcome back after our fiery spectacular. Now we're going to heat up the crab meat. So I'm melting some butter. And this is in another skillet. Right, so I've melted my butter. I'm going to warm up my crab meat now. And this is jumbo lump crab meat, fresh from the Chesapeake. And these lumps are very beautiful. I'm not going to break them up entirely, but enough that they can spread out over my filet mignon. And this is really just to warm them up. And you don't want your flame too hot. I'm going to add in a jigger of white wine, some parsley, and why not another pinch Cajun spices. Look how elegant that looks. Welcome back to the dining room. We have finished our elegant Cajun meal. And now it's time to discuss which local Virginia wines will we have with this delicious meal. So I had my bread round that I warmed up in the oven. I put my filet mignon on top, poured some of my demi-glace that I had poured into my sauteed mushrooms and shallots. And we saw the fiery result of that. This is going to taste pretty good. And then I warmed up some jumbo lump crab meat and topped my steak with the crab meat. And I'm serving this with simple green beans. And I say simple because I just blanched these and warmed them up with some butter, salt, pepper, and parsley. Simple, elegant, with a Cajun twist. You saw me with my Cajun spices. So what local wines are we going to have with this delicious meal? So this is where you want to consider your library wines. If you have those in Virginia, you've been storing wines over the years, and one option would be the 2009 Hardscrabble from Linden Vineyards. This is older, and I'm suggesting older wines because we have lean beef, we have delicate crab meat, we don't have a lot of spices with this going on, so we don't want the wines to overpower the meal. We want them to complement lean and delicate flavors. So the 09 Hardscrabble would certainly be an option if you have that on your wine rack. We've already enjoyed a sample of the 2013 Merlot from King Family Vineyards. Merlot is an excellent pairing with Filet Mignon, has round nuances, complexities in the mouth that are run towards the cherry notes. And then, if you really want to keep things young and vibrant, go with a 2022 Pinot Noir from Mankato Ridge. In fact, that's what I'm enjoying now. And if you're serving this at a dinner party, you have these wines on your wine rack, or you have some older wines, throw them on the table, let your guests decide for themselves. So, the Cajun has cooked. The Cajun's going to eat now because Cajun Cook is hungry. So, I'm having some of this Pinot Noir from Mankato Ridge. Thanks to Christine Ruman for recommending this to us. If you liked today's video, you found it informational, give us a like, give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe. The Cajun has cooked. Cheers.